just when I come through the pain. Never been about the money or the fame. But when it bring both, so here we go again.
It was a common sight in the 80s and 90s, not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the San Francisco 49ers. From the 6. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Here we go. Ready?
Now Patterson to start the drive. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. Second and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Six yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. On second down, a run with Patterson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this will be incomplete. Kyle Pitts, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver. And it results in an incomplete pass.
Here we go.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On play action, they'll throw. On the move to his left. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
On first down, going back to Patterson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And one thing about a play like this, if it's slow to develop, it can turn out poorly. And this play was definitely slow in developing, and that was one heck of an effort to sprint over there and get the man down before he could make anything happen.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. They'll run with Patterson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter.
Set, ready.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he is going to lose yardage here. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
Koo knocks this one through the post. Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
On the ready.
Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
52 blaster. Rail, hello. Blaster, 6. Ready.
Here's Lance. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A big pickup of 38.
As we've seen over the years, offensive coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover, put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Pause, ready. Ready.
From midfield, here's Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 42-yard line.
Here we go.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Falcons 3, 49ers nothing.
Only needing 2 yards on second down.
Switch red. Yellow, go. Ready?
On second down, here's Mitchell. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Play action. Now it's Lance. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Davis Price on 1st and 10. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Striker, 3-3. Slide 2. Blue striker. Blue, go. Faster, faster.
On second and a yard, Lance. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk from 19 yards away. And the 49ers have taken the lead. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Here we go.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. That'll give him 8 that time. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. They'll try and throw for it here. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
First down, here's Mitchell. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend.
Ready. Yellow, 1. Yellow.
Slot man moves right. Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. That doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down. A nice, consistent game.
1st and 10, it's Patterson. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
If we go back to the last series, remember, their coverage allowed them to get a turnover in the last drive, a takeaway, and that helps contribute to a sack on this one. I think maybe this quarterback's a little bit hesitant. Last time he turned it over, now he sees his zone coverage a little bit slow to get rid of the football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And complete to Drake London. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, a run with Patterson. And he coughed it up. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports Halftime Report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. He was solid on the field goal, but not as solid on the kickoff there. And that'll put him at the 40-yard line to start this drive. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Throwing on first down is Lance. Open man is Samuel, complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On the set.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Right. Green jack.
Lance now on first down. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Ready.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, a give to Mitchell. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 23. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Hey, red. Go red.
Davis Price will try to pick it up. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Seibert's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 9. It's now 12-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
Now, I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Beginning on the ground with Patterson. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Patterson running between the tackles. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Yellow, go. Red, yellow.
Here's Lance to throw it. Throws the out route and completes it to Samuel. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Elijah Mitchell, 41 yards. And the Niners are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season, got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main guy.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Once more, they turn to Patterson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 58 yards rushing for him in the ballgame now on 14 carries. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. 16 yards on the play as they try to chip away at this 16-point deficit. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Bates. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. They'll look to throw here on first down. He's got Patterson on the out route. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down. Straight ahead, Patterson. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Falcons are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
They'll try and run it up the middle. And they will get back to within 1 score as he is into the end zone, and the lead's cut to 8 here in the fourth. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you field a kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. 78 yards on the ground for him so far. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try to move forward.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Lance now on first down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Ultra. Go ultra.
They run over center with Mitchell. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Okay, ready?
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Ball red. Field black. Red cycle. Go pink. Ready?
From the gun on 3rd down, Lance. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it will be Falcon football. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Back to throw. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have as well as they understand where they are in the field?
Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the 49ers have just about sewn up this football game. Well, this game has not been short on intrigue, but that's the backbreaker right there, and it's going to put any hope of victory to bed.
Yeah, they knew they needed the touchdown, and when you have that little time remaining, they know they've got no choice except to go for broke, and that they did. But the interception, that means defeat.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.